Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings. Salutations. Hello.
Good morning.
Welcome. Good morning, afternoon, good night. It's like
Good evening.
the Truman Show, if you've ever seen that.
Yes. Yes.
Good flick. But welcome everybody to another. I wouldn't call this an episode. Another session of the Descript Support Q&A with me, Trevor, a member of the support team.
And Salvatore, another member of the support team.
And we are here to answer your questions live and teach you a little bit about Descript, regardless of your experience level. But we welcome any and all new users. If you are tuning in, you can just let us know where you're tuning in from and what you're using Descript for. Let's get that chat active so we can answer some questions from you. If this is your first session, welcome. If this is a returning session, welcome back. And this is the Descript Support Q&A. Oh, is this not the presentation slide? Uh-oh. I went to the other one. Here's the presentation slide.
There it is.
It's very short, and then we'll kick off questions. So we're here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific with members of the support team. It's usually me and Salvatore, but we have some other folks that join us as well. We also have Alex, who is also a member of the support team, hanging out in chat, sharing links and answering questions for you as well. As we mentioned, we are members of the support team. This is for anyone and everyone on your Descript journey. We're happy to help whatever step you are on, and the goals are to answer your questions live. So you're just, if you want to ask a question, use the chat box in YouTube and ask us a question, and we will answer it live. For bugs, we're happy to answer it and see if there is something we can do and tackle. But the best way to get in touch with that would be with our support team to handle directly with your project. Some of our other resources is we do have a help center that has some general walkthroughs, tutorials, troubleshooting guides, and other specific features. We're on YouTube right now, where we also have tons of other video tutorials, feature reviews, announcements, and past webinars. We have a whole collection of webinars that you can review, including this one. This one will be recorded and available to review after. We have a growing community on Discord, Reddit, and Facebook. We're trying to grow in other places as well, so feel free to join that. We'll have some links on how to join those communities in the chat, not below. Is it to the right of us?
To the right, I believe.
To the right. It's to the right of us on our streaming. To the right of us on the streaming thing. This is to my left, but it might, I don't know exactly where it is for everyone, depending where you're watching this. And live events. We have a calendar of other live events, including other webinars. We do have another webinar tomorrow, which is a general 101 webinar to learn. It's a little bit more demo focused, where there will be a demo and a Q&A. So come hang out with us there if you would like to see a more specific demo of all of the features in Descript. And if you do have a bug, like I mentioned, or you just want to get some more assistance live with us, you can get in touch directly from the app. We might show you how to do it as well. Click this little question mark and then contact us. And now we are on to questions.
To the questions.
I did see Bill. I'm just saying, Bill, you're from Duxbury, Mass. Very cool. I'm also from Mass, so go New England.
There you go. I went to school there for like a year.
In Duxbury or?
No, just Boston.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Boston. Oh, very cool. Oh, right. You did the music school?
Yes.
I don't know if I should say. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Oh, Berkeley, right?
Berkeley, that's the one.
Berkeley.
Oh, this is a great question.
Cool. But yeah, we do have a question from Bill. This one?
Oops. Sorry.
Oh, I pressed it too.
How do I correct misspelled words? Try, but it meets the word on replay. That is a great question. There is a specific tool to use for correcting just the transcript, and I'll show you here in a minute. I'll get you to my screen. And welcome, Dana. Thanks for hopping in. So when you need to correct just the transcript without affecting the media, you're going to highlight it on the script, and then you're going to use the correct button. If you were to just highlight it, delete it, and retype it, it's going to delete the associated media with that word. since we're script-based editing. So if you use the correct button, this is just going to fix the transcript. Let's say you wanted to capitalize it, or it was misspelled, or the wrong word completely. That'll just fix the spelling without affecting.
And welcome to.
Like so.
We do have a misspelled word there too.
We do. I should.
We always have that.
You would think Descript would get this right, but we're going to fix it right now. So this is a perfect example. Correct. And the underline sort of just lets you know that it's realigning the new word with the audio. And it should work as expected.
With Descript Support, episode 1.
There it is.
I'm wondering, you said that it mutes the word on replay. I'm wondering if you're actually removing it from the audio. If you press there's a couple of things here on this little, I don't know what this toolbar is called. The toolbar, right?
The toolbar,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so you can ignore it. If you press that down arrow to the right of that, you can remove from the transcript or replace with gap. Replacing with gap sounds like it will mute the word because it will keep the timing there, but it will mute the word.
Yeah, and one thing that I commonly see is just deleting the word entirely and retyping it. Let's say you head to the write mode and you try to retype it. That is telling Descript that you want to create new AI speech. And if you don't have a speaker label assigned that has AI speech enabled, it's going to be just a blank space there, like so, which is pretty common. So when just fixing the transcript, you're going to want to use the correct tool. So you get back to it. There we go.
I also see Dana from North Carolina just getting started on YouTube, currently editing my first video. Welcome. Let us know if you have any questions. If you're editing along while watching along and you come around to something or come up with something that you have a question for, it's a good place to ask it. We do have a question from Jeremy Roberts. If I'm cleaning up the text of the transcript and timing is just a little too tight and I want to add silence in place of the deleted word, is there a secret trick to pull that off? Gap?
Gap is the one. Gap clip.
Gap clips, not the store, right?
Exactly.
That's not funny. Sorry. This wasn't funny.
I thought it was good. That's a great question. So we utilize gap clips for that function, and this works best if it's an audio only project or if you have B-roll to cover up your voiceover. But for example, in this project, maybe I want to get rid of life and just add a quick little pause there. I would just right click on my script track and add gap clip. And this gives you a adjustable clip of silence. You can make this as long as you want. Let's just do 1 second for now.
To tips.
Welcome to tips.
Welcome to tips. It's just tips, not
just
life tips. We don't guarantee your life will be improved from our tips. Just tips.
Just tips. The best bar west of the Mississippi.
And you can also add the gap clips on the script track if you don't want to mess around with the timeline at all. You can, by just right-clicking in there and editing the word gap here.
You see it adds one right here. So I'll do one right after tips. Edit word gap. Let's do set manually 2 milliseconds.
The tiniest of all gap clips.
There we go. That's a little bit more noticeable.
Yeah, the only thing with the gap clips is that when you have video, it's going to have this like black screen. So it's sometimes you would want to, I guess, what would you do in these cases? And yes, right click, Jeremy.
Yep. I would usually cover it up with B-roll, or I normally would only do this if it's just a voiceover track or an audio only composition. But yeah, I would say B-roll footage would be the best and easiest way to cover it up.
Awesome. So hopefully that answers your question, Jeremy. If you want to try, if you try that on your end and you're still stuck, feel free to clarify, and we're happy to walk through any more on this. Otherwise, if we don't have any new questions right now, we can show how just editing a project would work and where we would start if we were editing this, and then questions usually generate from there. Yeah, if you wanted to, is this? Oh, we're starting a brand new one.
Start anew. All right. So all I did was went up to the composition name up here. From here, you can make new compositions within your project. I thought I would show that really quick. This is helpful if you have different revisions or just things you want to try for the project, but you don't want to mess with the original. You can always load up a new composition or even duplicate one that exists in here. So I could totally mangle this however I'd like and still have my original here. But yeah, this was a simple podcast that we did a few months ago, or several months ago now, about moving. And we used Descript Rooms for this, which is our remote collaborator recorder. And to get to that is from the home screen, your drive view here, you're going to click on record and record with others. This takes you to a room where you can invite guests via a persistent link, and you can record everyone in high quality video and audio. So this is what happened. This is what we did. So this is Trevor and I. And to start off, I think typically people want to clean up the script. And while you can do that manually, like we did earlier, just by deleting words, going through the entire transcript, we do have AI tools to help with this. Also, you can ask Underlord to help, which is our AI chatbot assistant. So we have some starter prompts here for you. I like to do things a little bit manually. So if you go to AI tools, you have some options here and some suggestions to start with. We have studio sound, edit for clarity, draft show notes. Let's say I want to edit for clarity, which is a great sort of overall all-arounder script cleaner. And it removes filler words, digressions, blather, and the usual. So I'm going to click on that, and you can choose the intensity you want. I'm going to go heavy this time because I want to really whittle this down. So click heavy. I'm going to click submit. Oh, try that again. There we go. Basically, it's going to analyze your script and find any filler and fluff that you don't need. So right off the bat, we have 162 edit suggestions. I feel pretty good about this. So you can manually review each one and discard or approve, but I'm just going to click done to keep all the edits. And you can see in the script, we have text that is striked out. And if you want to play it back, this is what it sounds like.
Right. And then we did end up getting another small trailer for our car.
So this is useful. You'll see the deleted script here, but you can always restore it if needed.
I just love seeing how many filler words you end up using. You can see between stuff and there's like, and I mean, I do it all the time. Even now you can hear me using filler words of sorts. So it's crazy. I did this one thing where I copied all of the filler words removed into another project, and it was 10 minutes long.
Whoa. Is this from one recording?
Well, it wasn't me. It was a previous webinar from a couple of years ago, and it was very funny to hear them all played in sequential order. So if you ever want to have some fun, you can,
okay.
you can do that.
Try that.
Okay, we got a question from Jeremy again. If I'm making an 8-minute video, is the Descript best practice to have all content in one project versus multiple 2-minute projects, edit, then combine? That's a good question.
That is a great question. If you're going to have multiple like small 2-minute shorts, that could work. But I think if it's short enough, if overall it's going to be 8 minutes long, I think you might find it easier to just have it all in one project, and you can use compositions to break it apart. If you head to your project tab, you can upload all of your files here. And as long as they're not like 30 gigabytes of video and you have like 20 files, I think having a good number of files in your project will be no problem. But from there, you could edit down your entire thing, stitch them all together, and break them apart into compositions, or just start off making compositions and working on each one individually. So whatever is the best for your workflow, but I think that's what I would recommend in this case.
Yeah, especially if you're, I don't know if the source video is 8 minutes or if you are just making an 8-minute video with a bunch of different files and videos and assets. But in my opinion, how I organize projects is anything that is related and using the same assets, I just keep in the same project. But if I'm working on different assets, like for a podcast, one episode, but you're making a bunch of shorts and interviews, and you want to use like a bunch of shorts from the podcast to post on social media, you might have like 10 different shorts, video clips, and audiograms. If people still even call them audiograms, I don't know if people still use that term anymore. If you're doing that, just keep it in the same project, but keep every episode a new project, because you're likely not going to be referencing other pieces of media from older projects in the new one. I don't even know if that's making sense.
No,
but like episodes are separate projects. Anything related to an episode or the same piece of content, you can keep in the same project.
Yes, that's a great point. And we also recently introduced the media library, which is pretty handy if you have content that you'll be reusing a lot. So if you have an intro video or outro or music you like to reuse for all of your projects, you can use our media library to upload those. So you only have to upload them once. And if you're within a project, you can pull from your media library without having to upload them each time and use up media minutes. So that could be really handy. Yeah, great question. Very welcome. But yeah, I'll just keep on moving on here. Please keep the questions coming. We love it. And all right, so the script is looking clean and tight. So let's play a little bit of this. I'm gonna do it towards the middle here.
Just made more sense. Yeah. We stopped by. Oh, sorry.
Did you map out these places beforehand, or did you wing it?
For the first time.
All right, so it sounds good, but I think it could sound better. One of our really, really popular features is Studio Sound, which is great for cleaning up speech in your recordings. In this case, we just used our laptop microphone, so we can certainly improve that a bit. So Studio Sound just takes your recording and enhances the speech. So let's play a little bit of this now.
Friendly drive, and it told us to go through Reno first.
So you'll see it cleans up the room noise, makes it a little bit louder, a little bit more upfront. I'm going to turn it off to compare.
It told us to go through Reno first, and then Vegas, and then all the way to Phoenix.
How long was he?
I think it's pretty obvious on Trevor's because Trevor has a really live room.
How long was each driving day? You can see that there is plenty of stuff behind me. This is not like a hidden void behind me. This is it is just a facade.
You had me fooled this whole time.
We did get a new question coming in from Janelle.
Yeah.
Is there a way to save lower third template with the text, font, and color you want instead of recreating it each time? There is.
Absolutely.
We'll show you how to do that. That's a great question.
Yeah, so let's set one up really quick. I'm going to go to the beginning and just do a quick lower thirds. So I'm breaking up.
Yeah, what'd you just do there?
Right here, I added a scene boundary. So a scene doesn't really do anything by itself, but what it does is it segments your whole composition into sections, sort of like a slide. So now this whole section is by itself. If I were to make a change to this scene, so everything that's before this is going to look like this. And once it gets past that scene,
With
it's going to go back to normal. So
no, why'd you undo it? It looked great.
it looked great, didn't it? Okay, so I'm going to set up a quick lower thirds here. And I can actually choose a layout. Maybe that'll, since this is going to involve layouts. So I could manually choose one and build a lower thirds, but I believe we have one.
I think oh, see, we say audiogram.
We do. Oh.
Name.
Name.
Yeah,
there we
speaker
go.
name.
There we go. So what I did was I applied a layout to a scene. Layouts are sort of templates that you can quickly apply or save based off of what you're building in your scene. So this is a pre-made one by Descript, and it just adds all these elements, a rectangle, the text element, title, and a little gradient. So you can edit this however you'd like. And then let's say this is one that you built. Oh, how did I split the scene? To split a scene, you just do / either on the timeline or the script. So let's say I want to add one right here after episode, / adds a scene there. You could also do it on the timeline directly. There we are. So I like how this looks, and I want to reuse this for future scenes and future projects. I'm just going to right click on the scene thumbnail up here. Looks like a little film strip, and then save scene as a new layout. And I could name this whatever I'd like, lower thirds. If you don't have a layout pack yet, or if this is your first one, you can create a new one. My layouts. And there we are. Create, pack, and save. So now once you have that completed, you can quickly apply that layout that you created to future projects. You'll see that my layouts that I just created, lower thirds, and it adds all of the elements that we had. If I get rid of these pop-ups. Let's do it again. There we are.
So many lower thirds.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a great question. Very, very helpful if you're wanting to speed up your workflow.
I have, you can have, I don't think there's a limit on layout packs right now. So you can have all sorts of custom layout packs and layouts that you want to use. You could save tons of different ones and organize it. We've previously created a bunch, like my podcast layouts, which is just an intro. My fun podcast. You'll see how one thing to note though is when we did this, it's only showing one speaker right now, and this is just because the layout only has one speaker. So when you are saving a layout or creating a layout, it will take all of the layers from that scene and add them to like the actual layout. So it's kind of removing layers, not like deleting them, but removing them from the view or hiding them, so to speak. You see like how your script was hidden. Oh, well, it was. But you can see keep out, use as placeholder. Yeah, use placeholder. This is just if you want to get a little bit more kind of granular with the layout creation. And there is a specific layout pack editor where you can just create layouts in a Descript editor interface and then publish them from there if you prefer not to create it within your own projects.
Mm-hmm. And to get there, you're just going to go back to your drive view, and under layout packs, this is where all your layouts and packs will live. That's the new one that I just made, my layouts, so I could create a new one.
You're hiding them from me though, so I can't access them.
Yeah, they're very bad, so that's where they'll be. Okay. So
one thing I wanted to call out real quick, just I don't think we mentioned it. Can you go back to AI tools?
Sure. Yeah, tools.
If you notice at the top where it says recommended because you recorded in Rooms, you want to talk about how we recorded this wonderful podcast about moving?
Yes. So we use Descript's built-in remote recording solution. It's called Rooms. It's really, really simple to use. Basically, I think I showed earlier, but if you go back to your drive view and click record with others. So I'll just click on that now to sort of show everyone. It takes you to this room where you can join and invite your guests. So this is where my room will look like. If I turn on my video camera. Hello.
Now there's two of you. Now there's one of you.
There's one. And I can invite guests, co-hosts, producers, different levels of participants. So I would probably just keep it on guest, and then you could just share this link with all of your participants.
Share it with the chat.
Share. Come on in.
Come on in, everybody.
The water's fine. And once everyone's joined, you can click record. After you've ended, you stop the recording, and it automatically creates a brand new project for you, which is what this is. This is just the result of that recording.
And you can have up to 10 in the recording as of right now. I believe it's 10. It works great with 2, great with 3, great with 4. There's not too many like podcasts or anything that would have more than that, but we use it for our morning meetings. Every morning we have our like quick stand-up meeting, and it's usually a little less than 30 minutes, but it's a great way to have it recorded, transcribed, and easily accessible for everyone on our team. So there's a lot of great uses just for that if you're looking to sort of have more easily accessible notes for meetings.
Mm-hmm. Very, very useful for that. And yeah, once you're done, you could also publish it as a web link, like Trevor mentioned, and just share it with the team, share it with others. So really quick way to do that. But yeah, that's a great question. Unless that wasn't a question and we just brought it up.
No, I just brought it up because I noticed,
right.
And it's the recommended. And I'm pretty sure that only happens if it records in Rooms, that little recommended. There might be other recommended, but it says because you recorded in Rooms. Typically, and also these are typically the 3 or 4 we would use. I don't use the draft show notes very often, but the Edit for Clarity, Studio Sound, Automatic Multicam are definitely ones I use.
Yeah, speaking of Automatic Multicam, right now these are just the raw video files. I haven't really moved them around. So for the whole 8 minutes, it's just Trevor and I side by side. But since we use Rooms, we have an individual video file for each of us. And we can use what we call Automatic Multicam. And what that does is it takes your speaker labels that it identifies through the transcript, and whenever it changes, it switches to that video in the sequence. And a sequence, great question, is a container of multiple tracks. So in this case, since Trevor and I recorded in Rooms, it created a sequence for us. And all it is just a wrapper for multi-track recordings. So that way, when I edit the script, it edits both of these simultaneously. But to get back to this, I'm going to keep everything the same, style automatic, cutaways, occasional. Camera setup should automatically do it for you, but you could double check here that Trevor is going to Trevor's camera, Salvator is going to my camera. And then we're going to go ahead and click submit. All right, so here we go. We had 4 scenes, and right now Descript made us 88 scenes now. So let's play a little bit of this.
88 visual changes.
88 visual changes in a blink of an eye.
Drove all the way down to Phoenix.
Wow. How long did the drive take?
We broke it up into 3 days with the cats and the kids.
That's fair.
It
That's
just
fair.
made more sense. Yeah. We stopped by.
So you can see it just adds a ton of dynamics to your video and keeps things interesting. So very fun tool to play around with if you have multi-track recordings. And I want to touch on this a little bit, but I chose a layout when I applied automatic multicam. And that's why this sort of the visual changes are a little bit more obvious here, since it centers the speaker, does a split screen view, and it looks a little bit cleaner. Okay.
Do we have any more questions? Anything that stands out about this process so far? We're happy to keep going through some other things that we can do with this project, this edit. There's definitely some things that I see that I'm like, oh, we should cut that. We should sort of do that. We can even, we could talk to Underlord to do it. We can always do it manually. But if anything sticks out, if anyone's project is coming from a starting place like this, where it's just 2 people talking, you're wondering how to do something, this is, there's no better time to ask. Every time is a fine time to ask. We'll always stop what we're doing to take questions, but just calling that out there.
Yeah, please feel free. Or else we're just going to keep
playing around.
Exactly.
Keep tinkering. Any new features that you've been playing around with?
I have been getting more and more into generating videos. Just like
for fun.
experimenting with prompting, yeah. Because I usually only kept it at the I forgot what our initial model was, but we do have a ton now. So let's say you want to add some video or images to your project, but you can't necessarily find anything. You've searched our stock media library, and it's very specific, and there just isn't a video that exists. You can use our video generation tool. You also have an image generation tool. And with this, you can choose from a number of popular models. Pix first, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. I've been playing with Kling a lot, which is pretty cool. But we have some others here. Kling Pro, Sora. Is it Veo or Veo?
We had the new image generation. We had Nano Banana too.
Nano Banana, yeah.
Some of these names are like, I don't know.
Who comes up with this stuff?
Banana Cling or Veo Verse. I'm combining names now.
Exactly. Anything is possible. So I'm gonna stick with the modest Kling one here. I've had some really good results here. And you can sort of dictate how long the video is going to last. I think most of them cap out at like 10 or 12 seconds, but it's sort of just a limitation with these. But I'm going to stick with that. Style, cinematic, and oh, we have a question.
We do. Well, we have two new things. One is I'm very new with this. This is between your lips. Is there a video I should watch maybe before this? Not. I mean, like, there are tons of places to start. I think this is a great place to start, just because we'll answer any questions you do have. Like, if you're just getting started, there's no wrong question to ask. If you are asking, how do I create a project? We're happy to show you how to create a project. Literally click on, starting a new project. If you want to know how to import a piece of media or record directly into Descript, if you have just a blank project, you don't even know how to start, we're happy to show you how to do that. That's what this space is for. That being said, we do have a few places that, as Alex mentioned, we have a Get Started with Descript guide. Other webinars are great places to start. I would start with that guide there that Alex mentioned, and you can keep watching here. And if you do have a question, again, you don't know who else has that same question that's just not asking it, because we really want to cultivate this space as a no wrong questions. There are no bad questions here.
Absolutely.
And now we do have a different question. So I have a 30-minute video that I created to show how I make a product. I did not record any sound. Now I want to add narration at different points in the video. Seems challenging. This is a kind of common question, common workflow issue or thing with Descript.
Yeah, that is. I'd be happy to sort of demonstrate how I would go about it. There's a couple ways, depending on how you want the voiceover to be recorded. But I think the simplest, that way, for timing reasons, I like to just record my voice and then mess with it later. But let's say I'm going to add a video to this blank project, and it's just myself. Let's pretend like this has no audio. I would just record a new layer on top of this while it's playing back. I want to say we can do that, right? Did I do it backwards?
Are you trying to just add a new layer?
I'm trying to record while play back at the same time.
Yeah, so I mean, generally the best workflow would be to record the narration and then add the visuals after. That's generally the better way of using Descript, just based on, because Descript works best when you have a script, when you have a voice-based piece of media as sort of the main content. In this case, if it's all visuals. Well, actually, in this 30-minute video, let me ask a follow-up question, Enchanted Fibers. Does this have audio in it, or is it more visuals, the video that you have? We'll wait for that follow-up. But if in the case that let's just say it doesn't have any visuals, I would. The difficult thing is yeah, that's tough. If it doesn't have any voiceover, just with the way Descript works, it does work better to have the audio in the script track first. But you still can, like, I guess I would include that in the script track just so you can add your voiceover to various points by adding a new layer. Otherwise, if you do it like this, it's going to be a little like you can show no audio, all video. I want to record the audio by myself. Gotcha. I mean, we can show you here. So you have this on the new layer, and if you press record and then audio only, and then just click that right the arrow next to the record button. Oh, that's new layer. So you'd want to do insert into. Yeah.
Yeah, the trouble with this, it doesn't give you a preview of your video.
Let's see how that does. So now you see how it cut it to 5 seconds because that's like the script track. That's definitely some feedback we can provide because I know this is a workflow that people want. So what I would do is instead add your main piece of media to the script track and then add as a new layer above it. So your audio won't be part of the script track, but you can sort of still work around that after you've recorded all of your narrations.
Yeah, let me give that a quick example. So the video with no audio is going to be on the script track, and then you would just record a new layer on top of a section. Testing 1, 2, 3. And then we'll see right on top of my video, it's going to be that new recording. So that'll be your voiceover. But yeah, that is a great question. Another thing that I've recommended is having your video playing outside of Descript externally and just clicking record and play at the same time. And then once you're done, you can throw that video that you have that you were playing back on top as a video layer. That way things will stay roughly aligned timing wise, and then you'll have the whole video and the whole script track there with you so you can edit as needed. So that's probably another way to do it that I would recommend. But yeah, that is a great workflow question that we hope to improve over time. All right, yeah, great questions. Keep them coming. But yeah, getting back to this video, let's say I want to add captions. That's another common question that we have. So adding a caption layer is super easy. To the right panel, you have the captions panel. Oh. Hello, Between Our Lips. Hello again. I write short stories and I recently became interested in converting them to AI videos. Can you help? Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of ways you can do that. I think the simplest, if it's a pretty short story, like under 2 minutes or so, the quickest way would be the AI video maker right on the drive view. And from here, you can paste in your entire script. So there's a 300 word limit. You would paste it in there. I wonder if I have a script that I can show here as an example. I'm just typing one off the top of my head and not asking ChatGPT at all. So we're pasting a script here just so we can get through the visuals of what this looks like. And over here, you can choose to assign an avatar if you want, a physical person that's going to be narrating your script or have no avatar. You can generate images or videos here. You can choose the style here, sort of the feel of your video. And then once that's done, it's going to take all of your parameters and create a video for you, which is really cool. Otherwise, you can manually just paste your script into a blank project like this. So you would enter write mode, paste in your script, and then you can ask Underlord to add scene changes, assign a voice, AI speech, and to add visuals on top. So yeah, that's a really great question. Wonder if I can ask ChatGPT again because it's not making a script.
Or did you ask? You asked someone to make a script. I mean, the other way of doing this, like if you just manually type in your script here or copy and paste here, you could just copy and paste that, and then you can manually add the B-roll. The AI video maker is good if you just want it to automatically create sort of a rough draft for this. But honestly, you don't even need to make technically like AI videos too. We also have, but we also have a full stock media library as well. If you wanted to add existing stock media and images, GIFs, other things there. But yeah, or generate your own videos like manually. Sometimes it's just with the video maker, it will try and do a lot very vaguely unless you are very specific with what you want. Again, it'll get you a really good rough draft, but it might not be perfect, and you're going to have to do some adjusting and editing. I'd be curious if you try a few of those options and see which one you like most, or if you've tried them and were happy with one result, not happy with the other. This is like a fairly common workflow. It just depends on the length.
Yeah, there's so many ways you can do it. I think for the most control, like Trevor said, using a combination of manually generating the videos per, every 10 seconds of your scene can really give you the full control of what you're going for. But Underlord is always here to help as well. Just chatting with it and having a specific prompt of what you're envisioning can help get you started. So those are some options to play with. Yeah, it's really good question. And with any kind of video, I think I was talking about captions earlier, you can just add them to the right here, choose one of the styles, and in a matter of seconds, you'll have captions that are getting pulled from the transcript.
Had like a week to fill it up. It was relatively smooth. We took our time.
And with anything in Descript, if you click on an element or a layer, you can head to properties to change some of the parameters. So in this one here, I have the caption layer selected. I can change the font if I didn't like the one that we had pre-made. I could change the style, the background color. So there's a lot of flexibility with editing how a lot of the elements are here. So we have a question from Jeremy. I'm a little confused. Descript does not permit a voiceover recorded to an existing video track. Yes and no. I think it's just the way that Descript handles recordings. So since we're editing media via the script, it's just we haven't had a smooth way of being able to play back existing script media while recording on top of it. I think, is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, like you can add the voiceover to an existing video track, but right now there's a slight limitation on adding it. It's not even necessarily a limitation on adding the voiceover to the existing video track on the script. For this, like, let's say we want to add a voiceover here and we want it in the script. What I would do is actually record the voiceover in a new composition. So we go to like a new composition and just I would need a brand new blank one and just record. Say this, could be anything here.
This is a brand new voiceover that I'm recording right now.
Perfect. Now let's just go to the project files and see what this is called, because anytime you record, it will also record it to your project files. So it looks like it was this one. It's usually named the name of the speaker, and then it will have a hyphen and the number, which you can then rename it so that you know what we're referring to. Then I would go back here and open up the sequence editor and add media to here at that point. So add media, you can add media to your sequence track. The sequence, for reference, is just a container of media for multi-track recordings and for multi-track, multi-camera plus audio. This is very small, so yeah, it's here. And then you would just kind of drag it to the point. If you don't have a sequence, you can create a sequence and then add it in there. And then this voiceover will now be in the script. This might not be the best like example, because this is like two people talking and there's not really a situation where you would want a voiceover for this, but this is just showing you how you would do it on your project. And that's just like general feedback of recording the voiceover or recording the narration first and then adding visuals is always going to be the cleaner experience for Descript.
Yeah. Agree there.
Did we fully answer the question from Janelle? Do we talk about it's the save brand tools as end screen? Did we bring up the brand studio?
Oh, no, yeah, we haven't touched on that.
We can, Janelle, we see your question about the brand tools such as end screens, follow IG handles. We have that. Well, one, the layout packs are going to be able to do that for you. We have, I think some of our defaults even have like some of those end screens.
Mm-hmm.
You can duplicate those layout packs and add your own to them. Like you add your own handles or add your own like fonts, logos, anything to those, and then save those. Or you can add specific assets to your brand studio if you are on a business or higher plan, which that's a good, yeah, you see like we have this outro here. This is like a cool little outro layer. Oh, this might be better on a blank scene. I think that's why with our new, oh, no, okay. Just the background.
Oh,
okay.
Red's not the correct.
Red's bad. That's bad.
Red's bad. Don't do that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So stop. I say red is bad as we just changed our color.
What's more like a maroon? Yeah.
No. So yeah, this is like, you can adjust this. You can change the Instagram if you like. We don't have an Instagram. Oh, I want this to be TikTok.
Yeah.
You can change that. Add your own logo,
and then save that as a layout that you could reuse over and over again.
And then we'll show you the brand studio real quick. If you are on one of these plans, here you can, you can explain this part.
Oh no, this is just another way of having your specific, brand parameters always ready to go. For example, if you have a font that you always want to use, you can sort of upload your custom font here, set some colors that'll be used across your projects. And if you have layouts that you've made specifically for your content, you could store your layout packs here as well. Also media, let's say you have an audio clip or an intro song, PNGs, PDFs, any kind of assets that you'll be using a lot, you could upload them to your media library, which is, I guess, similar to what the regular media library is. And then we have glossary for the transcription. Let's say you have a funky spelling of your company and Descript always transcribes it wrong. You could edit your glossary to make sure that that's a non-issue. And lastly, permissions for if you have multiple team members, you can sort of limit who has access to what in the brand studio. So lots of customization here.
And then just a question from Isates. Not entirely sure I pronounced that correctly, so let me know if I did not. But is there a location to watch past recordings like this? Yes, all recordings, all of our webinars from this series and other series are available to watch on YouTube. And if you leave comments, we'll generally follow back up on those. This specific series happens every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if you did not catch one. We generally cover a lot of the same stuff when we're just demoing. So no need to rewatch if you have a question for us. But if you can't make this time, then you can always leave a comment. We'll try and get it in the next episode. I said episode. These aren't really episodes.
They are
we
now.
really need to call them episodes. They were like a live visual podcast. We're really changing the game.
We are.
We are breaking new ground in the webinar space.
It's a session.
It's a session.
It's a sesh.
Join us for a session. I'm going to bring out my mandolin, and you'll bring out a banjo. And we'll
there we
have
go.
Session music.
That's going to be next week, so tune in.
Next week, tune in. You can't miss that one.
Great stuff. Yeah, so please, if you have any more questions, we have about 10 minutes left, a little less than 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll just sort of keep going through some typical workflow stuff.
Typical
workflows.
I'm a
typical person. I don't really touch on elements a lot, but I think this is a really cool feature to quickly add some cool visuals. Let's say I really like the waveform that comes across certain videos when I'm watching like YouTube shorts and stuff when people are talking. So we do have, for example, a waveform element. Just take a look here.
They picked it up, and we could just focus.
Do you want to actually create a clip of this and like a portrait clip and show that workflow?
Let's do that. Yeah, let's create a quick Instagram clip for this. I'm going to take this section of my script. So I'm doing this manually, but I want to grab this specific section. So I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to duplicate it to a new composition. So that new composition lives within the same project. And I'm going to quickly apply a little layout. I'm going to turn this into portrait first, actually. So from here, we have the scene editor icon where you could change the aspect ratio and some other video settings. So I'm going to change that to portrait. And now I made my video look a little strange, so I'm going to click on the layout button and change this to speaker, so it sort of centers me a little bit better. There we are. So right away, I have a quick visual that's looks really good for socials.
The rent.
Like so, but I'm missing my waveform. So back to elements, and I'm going to add the waveform as a new layer.
And then we did end up getting another small trailer for our car because.
Perfect. So that's beautiful. Let's say I want to share this. Like with any composition, you can export it to the top right, and you can either do it as a web link, which creates sort of a personal. It's a Descript link that you can share with others, and you can sort of affect the accessibility of that or permissions to be anyone with the link, public, or project access required. We have local export, which just downloads the video to your computer. Or we have some other direct integrations here like YouTube, Blueberry, eWebinar, Google Drive, and some popular choices here like Restream. And export, and it'll save to your computer so you can easily share it.
Well, you can publish to Restream?
I guess so.
How does that work? How does that work? Well, I don't know how that works.
I know. I saw that too. I was like, oh, hold on.
you were like, man, you could post to Restream? It was a question. I'm like, yeah.
Just gloss over it.
You learn a new thing every day. I guess that for our general workflows, we don't publish to a good number of these.
Yeah, I use web links a lot because it creates like a
very
quick, easy private link, just like a personal YouTube link.
Are you able to share what that looks like?
Yeah, let's
show. I think you're sharing your
publish. So, and when you're exporting it via the web link, it's oftentimes faster. And gonna open that up. So this is what the page looks like when your friends or family, whoever it is, coworkers, opens up the link.
Oh, I don't think we're seeing it. You might have to reshare. Do you have another screen?
Yes, let me reshare.
No, that's us. That's just us. That's your screen. At this point, we've been doing these sessions for quite a while, but we're still figuring out all the tools in our here we go, in our arsenal. So it's still rendering. But it has the transcription. It has the number of views if you care about that. You can download it. You can hide the transcription. You can press edit, which will take you back to the project. There's just a lot of cool little tools. It's just like any video player online with some Descript twists to it. It just kind of looks and feels very Descript-y.
I'm a big fan.
If it renders, we're going to wait for it to render. Oh, there we go.
There we go, 90%.
It was all those elements you added that really slowed this down.
This is the waveform I should have known. Almost ready. I'm impatient, so I always refresh it, but I really don't need to.
They picked it up, and we could just focus on.
And there we are. The preview will show it as having borders, but it will download as a portrait video. I think that's just the limitation of the player. But yeah, you can download the video directly from this web link. And like Trevor mentioned, clicking on edit will take you back to the project to edit.
We have a couple of questions sort of at the tail end of here. We'll try and get to these. All right, let's see. From Simplest State. If I have two voices talking over each other or the non-speaker coughing, I will use the scene editor, separate the audio, remove the unwanted audio, but this creates empty video frames. I see what you're saying. So if you have a moment where someone is like coughing or something, remove the unwanted. Yeah. It sounds like you're just missing an extra step. You'd want to detach the audio. Well, it depends what you're trying to do. So you have two voices, like if we're talking over each other, and then you want to you're using this, the sequence editor maybe? Separate the audio, creates empty video frames. It probably just means that those are hidden. I think when you detach the audio, it might hide the visuals. We can test that real quick.
Yeah, let's go back to my original here. Let's say I'm laughing here. So I'm going to open up the sequence editor. And I'm going to detach Trevor's audio. So now we have a separate video track and audio track. So now I could delete the audio here without affecting the video, since they are now detached.
Okay, gotcha. Just you were talking about the sequence editor, yeah.
So the video should remain if all goes well, but the audio will be removed.
One.
I lit up.
Like so. So sequence editor, detaching, and then just editing it from the audio track.
Yeah, and sometimes like you can use Studio Sound, which will remove that. Or you could just cut that out. Like if you add a scene or if you're talking over each other, you just kind of cut that out. I do this a lot is do we have a moment where we're talking over each other? Like another one?
Right here, it looks like.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of pods, of course.
So like that part before I say that, if you want to create a scene there, and then right before I've heard of pods. Like that. You see that purple wave?
Right here?
Right here, yeah. Create a scene right there. So now we'll go into the sequence for this part. We'll remove the audio from right before there. Yeah, like right before there. And delete that and go to done. And then on this one, I would just hide myself and make your video the biggest one, or like take up the whole screen. And then once we go to the back one for the next scene, this should sound and look better.
We got a pod. If you heard of pods containers, yeah.
Pods, of course.
Super flexible. They
A little
draw
better.
Yeah. It's a good workaround.
It's using like kind of hiding myself and then bringing myself back. Not sure if that works for your project, but it works here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will wrap us up for today. today, unless there's anything else you wanted to bring up or mention or answer. We did get a question about, real quick, I record all of my classes on Fathom. Is there a way to add the video link and have it transcribed so I can create shorts, or is it best to copy the transcript instead, which I can? If you're able to download that file from Fathom, you can then add it to Descript and it'll transcribe it, and then you can create shorts either manually or using Underlord/AI tools. Importing from Fathom is not possible right now. I believe in the future we're going to have some ways to, if it connects with like Zapier or something, we'll have some ways to maybe make a connection between those. But right now, there's no direct import from Fathom. So you'll need to have that video and then import it. But yeah,
okay.
All right, that'll conclude this session. Anything we didn't get to, as Alex mentioned, just reach out to us directly. You might get one of us or another great member of the support team. And we will see you next week if you decide to join us again. Same place, same time. Probably the same people.
Yeah, most certainly.
All right. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of the Tuesday.